It's raining and it's gloomy, but will it be worth it? So, I did know it was going to rain all day today. The forecast was pretty confident it was going to be rain all afternoon, as well as a ton of kind of grey, gloomy clouds. And it has been a pretty wet summer for us so far here in the Canadian Rockies, which on one hand isn't a bad thing. It's definitely kept all the wildfires at bay in the area, and we haven't really had any issues with smoke. But of course that has made planning to go outside and kind of hike and camp and climb a little bit harder. But one thing with the Rockies as well is that it would often say the weather is going to be bad, but it's not necessarily bad all day, and it can kind of change on a dime. So even though the forecast was terrible, I've decided to come out here to Kananaskis today to do some photography, partly to prove to myself and to prove to you guys that it is possible to have a great day out and get some great images, even if it is pouring with rain. I also have a theory that the wildlife comes out more when it's raining. That's when I think the bears come out. That's when I think the bighorn sheep and the deer come out, because there's less people around. So let's see if we can get some images and try and not get too wet. So I'm starting my morning on the south end of Kananaskis. So if you were to drive from Highway 1 and turn onto Highway 40 to come into Kananaskis, you're going to drive all the way past that Kananaskis lake turning. And once you get past that lake turning, it actually becomes a lot quieter. You can see here there are no cars on the road here. So it's a great little area if you do want to pull over and take images kind of down the road or close to the road, because you don't have to worry about traffic as much. So I definitely think some of the best shots you can get on a day like today, where it's pretty grey, overcast, and that rain's really on and off, is using the road here as a bit of a leading line running towards the mountains. And what you need to do is kind of drive through Kananaskis looking for the most distinctive peaks. Like this guy here I think is going to work really well. I'd actually like the road to be a little bit wetter right now, but it's weird in the mountains. You kind of find like periods of rain and you'll drive a kilometre or two down the road and then there won't be any rain at all. But I've got the circular polarizer on the end here just to help with a bit of contrast and saturation. And I'm just going to shoot a couple of shots right down the road here. It looks like there's some cool motorbikes coming through actually, so maybe we'll try and grab this. Not sure how well that worked with those motorbikes coming through, but I did also get a really nice shot of a red Jeep just as it drove through here when the road was a little bit wetter. But I think we need to actually go and find some more rain. So what's that saying? Be careful what you wish for. I wanted a little bit more rain. I wanted wetter roads for sure. I wanted more mood this morning. But just a few minutes after I filmed that last thing saying more rain is what I need, it's torrential rain. And it just shows how quickly the weather can change in the mountains. Today, in this period of about probably half an hour to 45 minutes, I've had dry conditions, I've had light rain, and now it's almost hailing coming from the sky right now. Heavy rain and sleet. Yeah, just goes to show you can definitely wait it out. The weather will change, but there is definitely still going to be some great images to be had here. I can see already some of the way the mist is kind of making those trees layer out here. I think we're going to get some good shots, but I might have to wait this out a little bit to get that sweet spot somewhere in the middle. So the more observant of you might realise that I'm actually on the same little bit of road that I was on earlier, but now you can tell the road is soaking wet. And what I love about a wet road with shots like this is that you get a really nice reflection of kind of headlights and any lights in the cars coming by and a bit of mist kicking up from behind them. So it's not a bad little composition with the road kind of leading into that distinctive mountain peak, but it'd really just be a case of waiting for a kind of a distinct vehicle or something a little bit more interesting, like if there was a cool camper van or maybe even just like a bright red truck or something, that would really make it. But I'll shoot a couple and you can see what difference it makes having that wet road rather than the dry road from earlier on. I thought I'd stop off at Kananaskis Lake, and there's definitely some great kind of moody cloud in the sky. Some nice layers with the mountains behind me there as well. I'm not sure if I'm getting anything super great on the camera right now, but I'm really surprised at how many people are here. And it just goes to show that it's raining, but there's still a lot to enjoy in the mountains. There's people out here with tents set up over here. We've got paddle boards on the shore, people skimming stones, people fishing. And I think there's definitely some shots to be had for a little walk around, but yeah, it goes to show, don't let the rain put you off. It's still worth kind of getting amongst it and spending the day outside.
I did get some pretty decent shots here after all. Switching to a longer focal length helped me isolate the distant layers of mountains and trees, separated by that atmospheric haze. This resulted in some more kind of abstract or fine art style images that I actually kind of like.
So the rain is so in and out today, and the cloud is really shifting in amongst the mountains. But before, just down here, and hopefully it will come back in a minute, it was just showing this one prominent spike. The mountains don't normally look like that because it kind of blends in with the one behind it, but the mist is helping separate those layers. And I've got this beautiful S-curve in the road going through there. And what I was hoping to do was actually kind of shoot it through the gap in these trees to dirty the frame, get some cars, and get the peak in the background there. I got a couple, but they weren't exactly what I wanted. But it is just about coming back in now, so I think if I wait here for a couple of minutes, this might be a nice little shot that wouldn't be possible if the weather wasn't terrible. Again, with these road shots, you really want some kind of really aesthetic vehicle to drive by, like some kind of red VW split camper van or something, but I've been stood here looking like a bit of a weirdo for the last 15 minutes, pointing my camera through this tree. I've got a few pictures, maybe not exactly what I want, but the mosquitoes are beginning to bite my hand, so I'm going to jump back in the car and we'll move on and see what else we can find. And just to prove my point from earlier, this is 2 for 2 on a rainy day in Kananaskis. If I spin you around, you might be able to see, well, probably not on this camera, but over there in the distance, it's a grizzly bear munching on some flowers. So that is a grizzly bear and a bunch of bighorn sheep today. And last time when I was in Kananaskis and it was raining, I saw a grizzly as well. Tough one to photograph and film though, you don't want to get too close, I don't want to get out of the car. I've got a long lens with me, so I've kind of got a clip, but I don't want to disturb this bear too much either. And you don't want to get out of the car, but it appears like some people up there are doing. I've made it to the north end of Kananaskis and made it to Barrier Lake. I'm about to jump on the highway and head on back home. And as you can see, it's brightened up, everything's started to dry up and the sun's just about piercing through those clouds. So it's been a good day overall. I maybe haven't got any fantastic images, any kind of portfolio worthy images, but I've got a couple of nice shots. And on top of that, I got to see some wildlife, I got some fresh air, and I got some good views. And I wouldn't have got any of those things had I stayed at home. So don't let the rain put you off coming out into the mountains or coming out and doing some photography, because it is often worth it, even if you maybe don't get the world's best images from it. But once again, thank you so much for watching. And if you are coming to the area to photograph in CANMORE, BANFF or the ICEFIELDS Parkway, do take a look at those guides that I have for locations and composition options. Downloading those really helps support the channel. But either way, hopefully I will see you on the next one.